boys and girls, this is Professor Vahini from Space Station Zero. Today's experiment will be making magic mud. First, I want to explain something. Everything in our environment is made out of particles. These particles can be really close together or really far apart. When particles are close together, it is called a solid. And when particles are a little bit farther apart, it is called a liquid. And when the particles are really far apart, it's called a gas. In this experiment, we will look at something that can be a solid or a liquid, depending on what you do with it. So for this experiment, you will need cornstarch, water, and even some food coloring if you want. So first, take the water, about 3 tablespoons, and mix it with the cornstarch, which should be about 5 tablespoons of that. Add a little food coloring in that if you want, and mix it up really good. Get a parent to help you if you need, because it'll need quite a bit of mixing to get blended in together. When it's blended in together, you'll be able to pick it up and even roll it into a little ball in your hands. But after you roll it in the ball, just leave it on your hand and see what happens. It'll melt into a liquid. The reason why it could become a ball is because you're pressing it all together, making the particles really close together. But then when you let go of it, the particles start to move apart and it becomes a liquid and runs through your fingers, just like a liquid like water would do. Pretty cool, huh? Well, anyways, that's the experiment for today. This is Vahini signing off on Space Station Zero. Bye-bye.
I think I'm ready to watch some more Slim Bot.
Oh, yeah.
Me too.
Let's watch more.
Yay!
Yes, Slimbot. I was made aware of your presence on my planet and knew of your plot to free Helga and bring freedom to the people of Goo Planet.
But how did you know?
We have operatives within the Crazy Ghost Brigade. They told me all I need to know.
Those guys are totally crazy for listening to you.
And now I have you exactly where I want you. And as soon as I press this button, the tubes will fill up with a special goo that will destroy you all.
You maniac! Let us go!
Never! With Slimbot out of the way, I will be free to rain down havoc on the insignificant drones of this planet.
Does this be the washroom? Ralph, help us! Thanks, Ralph. But now can you stop the flow of the goo in these tubes before we die? Please?
I have no idea how to do it, me metal friend.
I'm actually already dead and I can walk through walls, but I also don't know how to stop your imminent deaths.
So, this is how it ends. Drowned in a tube full of goo.
Not necessarily. Ralph, do you still have that baguette I gave you?
Of course I do, me love. I would never go anywhere without it.
Press the button on the bottom. It's also a laser cutter, you know, just in case. My hero.
Thank goodness you installed a laser device in your baguette, Norma.
The guards will surely be coming soon after all that noise. We should get going.
That's right. They will all still be under the mind control of Yak Rev until Helga Bot is freed from that machine.
Wow! Slimbot is getting so exciting! And when I get really excited, I just have to hula hoop!
Wow, Christy, that's amazing!
Oh, thanks!
You're getting a little close.
Oh, don't worry, I'm I'm a master of control with my hula hoop.
I hope so.
That night, penetrating deep into the heart of Transylvania, I was unaware that I was on the point of reaching the goal of my mysterious investigations, in the course of which I had travelled throughout Central Europe for many years. Across the snowy landscape, I saw a castle. The scenery was beautiful, but there was something sinister about that castle, and the way the bats circled its towers and the wolves howled in the forest around, it just made me want to find out more. I was not unprepared. I had with me in a small case several wooden stakes, a mallet, and some cloves of garlic. Yes, I was expecting an encounter with vampires. Now, some people say you should take a crucifix if you're meeting with vampires. I didn't do this. I thought maybe it was a little bit risky. What if the vampire's Jewish or Buddhist or Jain or agnostic or, many other religions? Would a crucifix stop them? So I didn't bring that. I went up to the door of the castle and knocked on it. I waited. Then slowly the door opened. And I went inside, but there was nobody there. I decided to look for the crypt. Vampires sleep in a crypt during the day, because if they go out in sunlight, they burn up and turn to dust. And a castle without a crypt is like a unicorn without a horn, and I soon found it. I went inside, and there was a coffin, and I lifted the lid on the coffin. Inside, there was a vampire, fast asleep. Why? Now, vampires are immortal, soulless creatures with fangs, who drink the blood of humans suck out their life and turn them into vampires too. So I was a little wary that maybe the vampire would wake up and try to bite me and drink my blood, even though I don't have blood because I'm an alien. But I only wanted to use the stakes in an extreme situation. So the stakes are the only way, driving a stake through the heart of a vampire is the only way you can kill it. But I didn't want to do that if I didn't have to. Now, the vampire suddenly saw me and he woke up and screamed. I tried to calm him down. After a while he did calm down and we had a good conversation. He told me about how everyone, all the local people, were constantly trying to drive stakes through his heart just because he kept drinking the blood of their loved ones and turning them into soulless, horrible vampires too. He couldn't understand why the people were so horrible to him when all the time they were constantly killing pigs and cows and sheep and chickens and other animals, drinking their blood, eating them, and not turning them into anything remotely as interesting as vampires. He was a very intelligent person, and we had a long conversation about many things, and when I left the castle I felt I made a friend. We still keep in touch with the postcards. It was one of the nicest people I've ever met.